advantage at the FIFA World Cup 2022, but they will have to overcome a quality group that includes teams from 4 continents. Despite being rated 51st in the world when the draws were conducted in April, Qatar, they seem to have little benefit since they were drawn into Group A with the Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador. The Netherlands missed the previous World Cup, but is returning with a quality squad led by Liverpool defensive rock Virgil van Dijk. And at the time, Senegal, the AFCON 2022 winners, Ecuador is in the pool, and after a difficult CONMEBOL qualifying phase, they shouldn't be forgotten. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we have come up with a FIFA World Cup Group A analysis, prediction, key players, and favorites. Before we begin the video, don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming World Cup updates. The 4 teams chosen for the group will compete in round-robin style, with each country playing the other 3. The points from the 3 group stage matches are used to calculate the group rankings. 3 points for a victory, 1 point for a draw, and none for a defeat. The top 2 teams from each group in terms of total points proceed to the single-game knockout rounds. If 2 clubs are deadlocked on points, the first tiebreaker is goal difference followed by goals scored. If teams are tied in those areas as well, another set of tiebreakers is used. Qatar. Football fans all around the world, including on the field. Since winning the right to host the event in December 2010, the tiny Gulf country with a population of less than 3 ranking in the top 50 in the FIFA World Ranking, up from the 112th. It also culminated in the country's first Asian Cup victory in 2019. Qatar has created an attack-minded, attractive playing style under ex-Barcelona youth coach Felix Sanchez that is guaranteed to win over supporters regardless of how far they go in their maiden World Cup campaign. Netherlands. In his 3rd stint as manager of the Netherlands, Louis van Gaal will be trying to utilize all of his expertise to steer the Dutch to the World Cup's later rounds for the first time in 8 years. They finished 3rd in 2014 and did not make it to Russia the following year, but their fortunes have improved since then, thanks to a new generation of talent that includes Barcelona's Frenkie de Jong and Bayern Munich's Matthijs de Ligt. The Dutch won a qualifying group that included Turkey and Norway and were led from the back by Liverpool dynamo Virgil van Dijk, who will be trying to solidify his status as the finest defender in the world. Senegal. Senegal earned their spot in Qatar 2022 in a penalty shootout, but will want to continue their current strong record that has already seen the nation hailed as the Kings of Africa. After beating Egypt to win their first AFCON title in February, Aliou Ciss's team did it again in the final round of the African World Cup qualifying to secure a spot in Qatar. However, fans in the stadium aimed laser pointers at Egypt's players during the penalty shootout to scare them off. That game turned out to be another fight between 2 former Liverpool colleagues, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, and there is little question that Senegal's chances would rely heavily on the latter, now at Bayern Munich, as their key offensive threat. They do, however, have access to several other world-class players, like Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. Surprisingly, Senegal has the greatest World Cup victory percentage of any African country on the field. Ecuador. The last big tournament Ecuador played in, the Copa America, ended in the quarterfinals after Argentina beat them 3-0. If Gustavo Alfaro's team wants to avoid an early exit from the World Cup, they will have to be much more challenging. Ener Valencia, Ecuador's all-time top scorer, will play an essential role as the nation returns to the world's greatest stage after missing out on the 2018 event. Brighton defender Pervis Estupinan is another good player on the team, but the squad as a whole isn't the strongest and may struggle to compete with some of the group's more prominent opponents. Let's talk about the key players from Group A. Number 1. Almoez Ali, Qatar. Almoez Ali, 26, plays forward for Al Duhaili SC in the Stars League. He has appeared in 163 games with Al Dubai, scoring 50 goals and assisting 47 others. Ali is capable of playing throughout the front 3 and has experience as a winger on both wings. He made his Qatar debut at the age of 20 and has since played 82 times for his nation, scoring 39 goals. Hassan El Hados is Qatar's most experienced player, having made over 160 appearances for the national side and scoring 34 goals. Ali's ability to score more goals in half the number of games demonstrates his importance as a player. Considering the clubs in Group A, Ali will need to be clinical if they wish to qualify for the knockout rounds. Number 2. Ener Valencia, Ecuador. With 72 appearances for the national team, 32-year-old Ener Valencia is the most seasoned player for Ecuador. Valencia is also Ecuador's leading goal scorer with 35 goals. Valencia is no new face to Premier League fans, having previously played for Everton and West Ham. He is now a Fenerbahce player in the Turkish Super League. Valencia made 11 appearances this season, scoring 8 goals and supplying 2 assists. Ecuador also has 2 of Brighton and Hove Albion's most promising players, left back Pervis Estupinan and defensive midfielder Moses Casiendo. Ecuador is a talented and promising squad with an average age of 24, but Valencia will have to take a lot of the burden if the team is to advance. Number 3. Sadio Mane, Senegal, AFCON champions. Senegal has numerous great players such as Edouard Mendy, Kalidou Koulibaly, Ismail Yassar, and others, but Sadio Mane is without a doubt their brightest star. The 30-year-old Senegalese left winger has made 91 appearances for his country, 5 goals in 11 matches. Number 4. Virgil van Dijk, the Netherlands. The Netherlands have a number of world-class players on their roster, but Virgil van Dijk will be critical to their success. Since his debut in 2015, the 31-year-old has made 47 appearances for the national team. He has prospered in a leadership position as the center back under Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool in recent seasons. On his best days, the Dutchman can't be stopped, and forwards have a hard time getting their rhythm going against him. The European top-tier side Netherlands and defending Africa Cup of Nations champions Senegal are the overwhelming favorites in this group. Qatarians. Qatar and Ecuador are the expected underdogs and are most likely to exit Group A due to better prowess from favored teams. The only World Cup host to lose in the group stage was South Africa in 2010. It is difficult to assess the condition of hosts who have not had to compete in qualifiers, but Qatar's record of severe losses by Portugal, Ireland, and Serbia last fall, followed by a draw against Azerbaijan, raises worries. They did, however, win the Asian Cup in 2019 under their Spanish coach, Felix Sanchez. They will open the tournament against Ecuador, who qualified for their 4th World Cup despite losing 6 of their 18 qualifiers. The Netherlands is perhaps the strongest team in the group, having been rescued from the seething crisis of the previous 7 years by the reappointment of Louis van Gaal, who took them to 3rd place in Brazil in 2014. Despite failing to score the goals that their offensive prowess promises, Aliou Ciss's well-organized and physically intimidating Senegal are the African champions. This wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.